Now that Joe Biden has won the U.S. presidential election, many are worried that Taiwan-U.S. trade relations will be affected. But an economist from a local think tank says there's no need to worry. He points out that American technology giants Microsoft and Google have both set up shop in Taiwan, so the U.S. will endeavor to sustain ongoing bilateral trade to protect its own interests. He also points out that TSMC's impending investment in the U.S. will further strengthen economic ties between Taiwan and the U.S.
With Democratic candidate Joe Biden the winner in the US presidential election, many are worried that export-orientated Taiwan will be affected in the future. But an expert from the Taiwan Institute of Economic Research says there's no need to worry.
在贸易战之后，
After the trade war, the US realised that China is not such a trustworthy partner. I believe that no matter which party is elected, it is now basically in America's interest to confront China. Taiwan's entire supply chain is now more autonomous and controllable than before the trade war. This will help boost Taiwan's economic growth in the medium to long term and will also be more beneficial to the strength of its exports. Indeed, any winning presidential candidate will put American interests first. Moreover, American technology giants Microsoft and Google have already invested in Taiwan, and a possible bilateral trade agreement would advance economic relations further.
美台 BTA 呢，其实会涉及谈到
A US-Taiwan BTA will actually deal with, for example, the protection of sanction rights and the lifting of relevant laws and regulations on restricted investments. From an economic and trade perspective, a US-Taiwan BTA is actually within America's interests, whether Biden or Trump is elected. Both the Democratic and Republican parties have reached a consensus of welcoming foreign semiconductor firms to invest in the US. TSMC is expected to shell out $12 billion in Arizona to build a fab producing sophisticated 5nm chips. If the scheme goes as planned, Taiwan-U.S. technology cooperation will be boosted.
他在美国投注的
When TSMC invests in the US and starts mass production, even though it won't be the highest-end semiconductor manufacturing, it will be closely related to and support the US defence industry. So this will help with interactions between Taiwan and the US and improve their relations. TSMC is helping to shore up the US's leading position in the semiconductor industry and is creating thousands of high-tech jobs. It is helping to protect Taiwan's relevance to US business as the White House gets a new resident.